the thing is, when you grow up in a preacher's home, there is a big tendency for you to become a bit of a rebel, you know. And I started making money on fixing iPhones when I was about 16 or so, when I was in Delta. Because as much as I believe in myself, I'm not making music for just me, you know. I'm making music to share, to make people feel something. And when people can feel something all around the world, in places I've never been to, or places I haven't visited, it just kept me going, you know.
Shout out to everyone that might be listening to us in this particular episode. And we know all the person that you guys might not know, you might have listened to the song that says you don't have a clue. And I can tell you from this particular episode, you definitely don't have a clue. We went all the way from Houston down to Nigeria, and we're meant to drop our research on Tega Ethan and Ibadan precisely. He's very passionate about that Ibadan thing. And I like the fact that he puts this Ibadan, because I'm not going to lie to you, for anybody that wants to watch this, please, you have to watch. I will say this for a fact. It's the only one of this time, I'm not talking about the past, of this particular Gen Z time we had, that have been boldly enough to stand his 2 toes and said, "Now I represent Ibadan any day, anytime." We know other person, Tega Ethan. How you doing, my brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good. The weather is amazing here in Ibadan, and life is chill. November is looking good so far. We're 3 days in, and every day has been pretty chill.
Thank you very much for that. So I must start from the last thing I said. Is first of all, people don't have a clue. As a person, I never had a clue about Tega Ethan. I've made a little bit of research. Me and my team will come up with a lot of questions. So please pardon us when we try to get you out of your comfort zone about some questions. But the first thing I'm going to ask you is what brought, I won't ask the question if I asked you in the past where people can search. It's an opportunity to have you, so I'm not going to go back to that. But I'll continue from what people have asked you. I've watched TVC, and they did ask you a question about, how did you come up with this, your accent, your choice, staying in Ibadan. But for me, I'm starting with your song that I know is still fresh, that people don't have a clue. How do you come up with that? What brings the inspiration of you to that particular sound?
They don't have a clue. I wrote it in 2021, I believe, or 20. And
wow.
I mean, I have a thing of writing songs and not releasing them. So I had that song just sitting down for a while. Although the production was done this year, but like the song itself was already written for a long time. It was there. But like, of course, I changed some lyrics recently, kind of rewrote it. But I've had the song for a while, and the idea behind it was I was trying to write a love song that felt real, that felt like Nigerian and stuff. Because I grew up on a lot of and got inspired into making music by a lot of British artists like Cher and Passenger, and then Nigerian artists like Asha. So the style was very, very different. It was like an amalgamation of all of this genre. So I would usually write like very cool ballads and stuff. So I was like, okay, I want to try my hand on something that felt like home. And then it wasn't dense in the beginning, but then it kind of just came. And through the years, I was able to refine it to what is now. They don't have a clue. It's a love song, It's a love song about longing, about like loyalty and longing. Yeah.
So now I'm gonna go back a little bit and tell a little bit about your past, and based on what you put out there, the song you made when you said "Love is like Lagos," if I remember correctly. Yeah. Yep. So there's a question they ask you about, like, does it have to do about your personal life? You say, I'm not gonna say yes, but no. Then you did said, if I'm correct on that interview, because I did take my time to understand you in that area. You said, I have something coming up. Was this they don't have a clue that you said then I was coming out, or something else entirely? Because I remember in the interview you said, I have something coming out that's different, upgraded version of, Love Like Lagos. But was it this they don't have a clue, or something different?
Oh, no. It's something that's coming still.
How do you get this vibe of being sure of yourself, of having the confidence in staying in Ibadan to the level that we have you on our podcast today? Is this something is going to happen like this? Because the world is going to get to know Tega more because of your sound. So please shed more light on those areas for us, if you don't mind.
Okay, so what gave me confidence in like choosing the city, of like doing my thing the way I'm doing it? This is like when I moved to Ibadan, I'd never been there before, and I moved here and it was calm. It was really peaceful. Like I grew up in Lagos till I was about 9, and then I moved to my parents' to Elisha. Elisha is in Osun State. And that's where I did most of my secondary, like high school, secondary school, everything. And then I was in Delta for a little bit. As my dad's from Delta. And then I came here to Ibadan. And when I got here, it just felt like a right place, you know. It's like I was around the university. There was a lot of new people. I was meeting friends. I was making friends, meeting people. And the city also felt very like my speed. Like I like quick cities. I like quick cities. Like London is a quick city. It was fun. Although you can also get a pocket of peace. Lagos is also a very quick city. I don't know if there is as much of a pocket of peace in Lagos, but I mean, it's fair. Lagos is very quick, almost like every part of it is quick. And then Ibadan is just like chill, you know? It's close enough to Lagos that if I have to be there, I can just like, now I can take a train, and then I could take a bus or a cab. And now Ibadan just has I love trees, I love like nature, I love all of that. So as a place, it just felt right. And I believe that places inspire and affect how you create art. The motion of the city, the motion of your surrounding is a very like important factor in how you interpret your emotions, how you create eventually. And Ibadan was perfect for the mindset I was in, and also the fact that I was discovering myself. I feel like Ibadan was and still is the perfect place for one to discover themselves, because it does not impose itself on you. It serves you in a way. Ibadan welcomes you and it's calm, and that was why I chose the place. Now, in deciding to do what I wanted to do, what I'm doing now is I made a conscious effort to only do things I'm entirely comfortable with, and to not censor my emotions as they were coming out. That's why my songs are a bit vulnerable, because it's like I always write from within, nearly 100% of the time, and when I do that, I try not to censor it, and eventually how it comes out is just what I feel like is the truth of who I am. And that's what I put out, right? And then I believe in it. I believe in what I'm doing. And most importantly, I had people around me. I had friends. I had my brother. And I think that was another very important thing, which is these people believed so much in me. They're telling me, oh, you're amazing. You're writing really nice songs. And all of those things kind of just make me feel like, you know what? Maybe I got something going, you know? And it's like, it's always so nice to just have people around you that like have so much faith in you, because that would like help you believe in yourself a lot more.
Thank you very much for that. And from that part, I'm about to digress a little bit into your personal world. I promise not to go too deep into it. And the question is about being coming from a home where religion is very big, faith. And, you know, how have you been able to manage that in terms of, you know, I'm from a preacher's home. My dad is a preacher. So I can tell you the experience of
Crazy.
When I was watching you, and how has it been for you to build that confidence? Because what you're doing is supernaturally one in a million. And what I say that is coming from that home and you still being able to be comfortable in your zone and to shape this craft of who you are in terms of your choice of words. And, you know, having that confidence you said about people you have around. How has that journey been in being able to, you know, sing a circle of music in the Christian home? That's what they call it. And how you've been able to differentiate yourself in that character to the level where you talk about it in interview where, you know, when you go in your hair, your mom, you know, how like, is this going to be the identity and stuff like that? How was that journey be for you to this moment?
Ooh, again, this question I like this question because it's relevant to all I'm evolving into right now. I recently have been confronting my upbringing and like really delving into it. I used to like avoid it, right, and just do my thing. But I've been connecting to my past self, not my past self, to my upbringing, because I was recently thinking about culture, right? Unfortunately, I don't speak fluently any of the languages of my parents. It was by design. My parents, I can speak Yoruba now, but like my Yoruba is not very good. I am working on it. I know the words, I can say it. It just sounds a bit amateur.
That's fine.
Yeah. And so I look back and I'm like, my culture essentially was basically church, right? Like if I was trying to like really look into it, like all the stories I learned growing up, all the rules with which I was brought up was basically just church. And so as I get older, it's like from last year, I started looking into it and I'm like, okay, this is where I am, yeah? And that's what it's going to, it is inevitable now. I see it in a lot of songs I'm writing. I see it in a lot of music I'm creating. Now, how did it like really affect like anything? Of course, the thing is, when you grow up in a preacher's home, there is a big tendency for you to become a bit of a rebel, you know.
Hmm.
Especially, I feel like my own personality type, being the kind of person that wants to do things on my own, I'm a bit like, I hardly accept help. I'm always trying to be like, oh, I can do this for myself. And so I was independent a bit quickly. I was independent a bit
Hmm.
quickly. I started making money uh, on fixing iPhones when I was about 16 or so, when I was in Delta. And from that point, I started making money. I started doing my, like, just being on my own, doing my own thing, fending for myself. I've really been fending for myself since I was about 16. So I
Hmm.
feel like that also played a part because I wasn't too like tied, connected at the hip to like my parents when I was a bit like when I was just a young teenager. It also allowed me to form my own ideas. Of course, there were there was a lot of clash, you know, because I was doing things that were not quite in line with the principles my parents had. But like, at the same time, I was like, oh, I'm not under your though. It's like I love you guys, but you know, I'm doing my own thing. And so I was able to explore and become myself. It has been chaotic, but I am grateful for the fact that I stepped out on time because then I have that upbringing. I mean, one thing I would say is it was good morals. You know, I have things I live by that I feel like are very nice. And at the same time, I was able to at some point then go and say, okay, who am I going to be as a person, as an individual? And in the music, it just, like I said, it bleeds into the music. I feel like you cannot run away from it. It's kind of like
Hmm.
me trying to not be a Nigerian artist. It's like I am Nigerian. So it's like my music, even when I write ballads, it is Nigerian in the core of it. Especially as I said, the place you are, it influences how you write a lot. So when I'm digging deep, I will write about a street. My first EP was called McCarthy Street. It was the street I
Yeah.
grew up in Lagos, in Ilupeju. And yeah, it's just so if I'm writing little things, if I'm making metaphors, it's Nigerian metaphors, and some of it is very churchy, and you will see it in the music that's coming. I'm gonna stop talking about because
Yeah, because
this.
I'm about to ask you on that, and I want to make it in like three question and one answer so I have to get it. And the question is gonna be like this: I haven't to have this song that you said while you're young, being growing up in a home where you're limited to what you do, you're being inside the house, and how you chose your word is something where somebody like me would like, which part of Nigeria did you grow? Because your English, your ways of life, your choice of things, your music, the energy you put is just you've given the world another perspective about Nigerians that a lot of people don't get to see. And for the fact that you're in Ibadan and you hone that every time anybody asks you any question about our place, like, no, this is my city, this is where I'm staying, this is what gives me the vibe of what I need. And my next question is around you opening for Johnny Drill, having this um believe, hopefully I pray that happen because I'm connecting with you to have to work with Asha, like you said in one of your interviews. How has that journey be to this upcoming album that you're dropping? When you look at all this thing together, how and you've been up to go to UK, how has that shape your music, your belief in your craft, and your sound? Because you're particular about the sound. From everything I've researched about you, you talk more of the sound to people. How has that been for you till now?
Okay, so way back to like the Johnny Drip thing. All of the things like the Johnny Drip things, a lot of things have happened like that. I've been validating. When I opened for Johnny Drill, it was 2019. That was a year after I said, okay, I was gonna start making music for real. And Johnny Drill being like the biggest alternative artist, that was so cool because he was like, I'm this guy living in Ibadan. I've never really, gone anywhere. I go to Lagos here and there. I just started really making music. I don't even live in Lagos, and then
Hmm.
I think he did like the Instagram thing, and I just put up my video, and then I got a mail saying, "Oh, come play," and I'm like, "Yo, this is insane," because I like Johnny Drill, and I got to open for him in front of his 1,000 crowd, and that was, I would say that was very, very good because it made me feel like, okay, yes, I am a part of this. I belong to this music thing, and then
Yeah.
two, it all exposed me to a lot of people. Like I have people that discovered me from that period, and still listen to my music. and it also just kept me going. To be honest, it's like you're on the road. Music is exhausting generally, but then that felt like a big glass of very cold water that says, you know, this road is a bit exhausting, but here you go. This is keep going, and you know that kept me going for a while. And in London was cool because, like I said, a lot of artists I grew up listening to either are from London or lived in London at some point. So going there was very validating. But what was most validating about that is while I was there, I was playing some shows, and whenever I would play it, it's like people just saying, "Oh, I love the music. It's amazing." And it just made me feel like, you know what? Yeah, I'm an artist. You know, it's like I'm not a shabby one too, and all
That's
of that.
fine.
Just yeah, I think most of it is just validation, like very, very positive, healthy validation. Because as much as I believe in myself, I'm not making music for just me. You know, I'm making music to share, to make people feel something. And when people can feel something all around the world, in places I've never been to or places I haven't visited, it just kept me going. You know, it's just like
One that I'm about to tell you is this. I'm definitely going to be in Nigeria next year. I would definitely like to see you in person. And the reason why I say that is you're pushing out this sound that we don't get a lot of people doing it. And you're not in Lagos. You're in Ibadan, for crying out loud. It's a place where how Afro beats have been created to be believed, he has to be from Lagos. And you staying in Ibadan and putting Ibadan into the map back. Because when it comes to historical part of going to the deep about we being blacks, African, Ibadan is a place where we need to always put on the map. And you staying in Ibadan, having this personality that is so you have this energy that just makes people want to listen to you. I don't know how you did it, your style, your image, your songs, your way of presenting things, and your unique way of bringing things to life. Because when they talk about, there was an interview I watched when you're talking about plans, and somebody asked you like, "Oh, you really have a plan?" You're like, "Yes, I have like 9 or 8." How many do you have now?
I do. Wait, let me count. I killed a plant. So my plants when I was on the road, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 now. Yeah, 1 died.
Wow. How does that? What does that does to you as a person, as a Nigerian?
What does that do to me as a Nigerian? I don't know. It's like I feel like it's a natural state. You know, it's like there's plants everywhere, and I brought some in. Now, I've been keeping them in the balcony now. Most of them are outside because I feel like it's just better for them. But it also makes me feel very calm. Plants are very calm. I like green. First of all, is my favorite color. But then plants, all types. It's just it feels alive, right? It feels alive. It makes me feel real and grounded. And it's also just cool to see another thing just growing on its side and being. Yeah, it's all about like nature. I love nature and I love things that breathe around me.
Thank you for that. So my next question is going to be personal, which is I'm asking on behalf of all the females out there. Is Tega single, or you're not single, or you're single taking, or let's just jump that. Which one of the three? But
taking single taking is crazy. I am single at the moment. As of today, I just
so any lady can slide in, they can slide into your DM. If they're watching it right now, they can slide into your DM. Is that something you allow it?
I'd see. Well, my DM is slippery. It's yeah.
All right, I don't want to put you on the spotlight. Actually, there's no
I'm calm like that. I love meeting people. That's one thing for sure. I love meeting people. Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, I think I'm a decent human being. I believe so.
Most definitely, I believe that. What's one lyrics from your music that you did get tattooed, and why?
Funny enough, this is a good question because I almost got it tattooed last month when I was in London.
Wow.
It was yeah. It's a song that's not out yet, but once it's out, I'm actually going to get it tattooed. The lyrics are, "We all are designed to be missed."
Wow.
Yes, we all are designed to be missed, and that's going to be the first tattoo I get on my God knows where. But like
we all are deserve to be. Wow. Can you give us a little bit about your upcoming album, if you don't mind? Because this is a very big word you just said. If you would like to share it. Yes.
My upcoming album is essentially a delve into my past, into my upbringing as a preacher's kid. but also about like love and loss through the lens of that, through the lens of like my religion, my beliefs, my upbringing, mostly my upbringing as a Christian child. So that's essentially what it is. Loss and love through the lens of my religious upbringing.
Thank you for that. It wasn't something I planned, but because of what you said, I had to ask you that. Thank you very much. So the next one is going to be, who were some of your biggest influence growing up, and how did you show up in your work today? Like people that you really, really motivate you, and how have they really influenced your music or your work of what you're doing today?
People that have influenced my music. Ed Sheeran, Passenger, Asha. I'm going to mention those three because these are like the major influences. There's a lot of other people I listen to that I would say, oh yes, you know, but those three, I know that when I was deciding to be a musician, they were the reasons. For Ed Sheeran, it was the sound, right? I think I've said this before, but like, I would say it again, it was my brother. He played me Ed Sheeran's album, and I wasn't even trying to be a musician. But he played me that album, and I was like, oh God, this is amazing. Because Ed Sheeran does a thing where he writes about his own experiences. And I just felt like so enamored about the fact that someone could be so sincere and vulnerable in their music. And I felt like, oh, I could do the same thing. I could use my voice, and people could be going through the same thing or could like understand and relate. For Passenger's music is just wonderful. Like his writing is just so good. And I'm like, okay, yes, this is beautiful writing, beautiful melodies. It feels so warm to listen to. It sounds so warm. With Asha, it's the same thing. I listened to Asha growing up. And also Asha, one very important thing about Asha is she's one of the artists that would give a person like me the courage to make music like this as a Nigerian. Because sometimes you might not be able to even get the permission to do something if you don't see it happen. And Asha kind of, you know, she's done all of these genres, done fusions with like the Nigerian music, sound, Nigerian experiences in other genres and things like that. And so me coming into this, I feel like seeing Asha, it gave me the courage to go, this is not impossible because Asha is doing it.
Facts.
So it's like, yeah, so it's like a bit, it's trend setting, pace setting, kind of going forward to prepare the way.
Thank you very much for that. My next question is, how does success look like to you beyond award and streaming numbers?
Good question. One of the reasons, because, you know, like I said, I wrote all of this, I have all of these ballads that are just simply about love that can be universal. I also have a lot of songs like Love is like Lagos Traffic that can be universal, but like as a Nigerian, you hear that and you're like, yeah, I feel like this song is for me, right? It's Lagos, right? It's like, yeah, the song is mine. One of the things that I will look back at as I grow older and as I make music on and on is if there is a future where my music can really just like connect Nigerians and my albums can be time capsules for like the reality of being a Nigerian and the presence and everything. If my music can do that, I would look at that and say that is success. If in 40 years someone can pick up a Tega Ethan album and go, this is a part of Nigerian history. Whether or not it went on to go platinum or gold or anything, if they can look at it and go, yes, this is authentically Nigerian, this is real, this is a reflection of what it means to be a human being, a Nigerian human being, I would look back and say, yes, that is success. The way them Bowie, the Beatles are to London, the way they are to the UK. I want to be that in the scope and in the history of my...
Thank you for that. That makes me want to ask you this next question. As a Nigerian living in Nigeria, with your style, with your sounds, with where you're being at right now, what is that one thing you think Nigerian music industry needs to put us more in the right path?
I'm going to be selfish now and say the one thing I would love right now is venues. We need venues. We need music venues. We need to be playing live music. Like, music is such an important part of life. Music is an important part of culture. That thing I said about like time capsules. Music represents a period of time. and we are musical as a people. I know we always play music in church on Sundays, and everyone goes out and sings, and it feels like a concert. I mean, it's a ministration, but as a concert at the same time. I know we have that, but that is religious, right? We also need cultural, life, political, all of that. So we need people to be able to go out and express and conjugate through music in a more active way. So if we had like venues around it, the culture of live music needs to be heavily supported and worked on, because it would be such a thing of beauty if I could step outside now and say, okay, after this interview, I want to go see an upcoming Ibadan artist that is writing true music, not just because pop is amazing, but not just pop songs about like money and popping bottles, but someone that's writing about like Nigeria's in a tough situation right now, right? Imagine if there's a guy like, and he's writing it in such a creative way, but that's personal to him, and I can go and say, okay, who is playing tonight? Oh, there's this venue, because you know in UK you've got all of these venues. You've got like in London, Shepherd Bush, you've got all these places, and there's a show nearly every night there. And I want there to be stuff like that in Nigeria, whereas there's another Nigerian artist playing every night, different ones. That would be so real, so beautiful. And they would not need to all be like, let's just get this song on radio. It's like you can really like be independent artists and just like true to yourself without 100% commerce. Like the road to it, the venues would be, if I had a magic wand, if I had one wish now and a genie appeared, I'd be like venues and a live music culture. That's one thing that would also allow music to become more real and more like present. If people were going out on Sunday morning to the church for praise and worship, but also to experience culture and togetherness through music on a Tuesday evening after work.
Thank you very much for that, for bringing that kind of. I think it's something we have in Nigeria I would say maybe in the late 80s, but it went away. Yeah, it's some kind of way. There's live band, there's juju band. There's a lot of things that people have in Nigeria. Some kind of way, Nigerian outgrow it, and I'm glad you bring that back into the memory, into this kind of conversation. Anybody that might watch that, we need venues, and I think I agree with you on that. Not just for the pop music alone, not just for being in a club. Sometimes just being able to relax and just listen to nice music with the lyrics that can, like you said, Nigeria is going through a lot of things, and having those shows around won't be a bad thing for people, especially young ones, to not that can afford to be in the pop place, but they just want to be able to be in a place where it doesn't have to cost them much to listen to an artist. I just want to pass a message, not about the numbers, because I think you're able to answer that again of talking about the streaming, because we ask you that, and not everybody is really after the numbers. Is about passing the right message, and I think you've been a real role model of that. My next question is going to be, so this might sound like it's this part of the two questions is more like imaginative and funny scenarios. I'm just giving you some funny scenarios. It's going to be like, if you had to introduce yourself to someone solely through one of your songs, which one are you picking, and what would you want them to feel?
Right now, interestingly, I would go with They Don't Have a Clue. I would, for the reason that it is the less selfish choice, right? I feel like it is, if I met someone now that wanted to listen, I would play them that, like a Nigerian, I would play them that. Because like that, just I feel like a lot of people have connected to the music and whatever is in that song. Because as much as I had the faith in the song, I didn't think people were going to connect so much, like nearly old and young. So I feel like whatever made people connect, it would also bring the same joy or good feeling to this new person, because it's not about me anymore, right? It's once the song is out, it's no longer my song, it's everyone's song. So that's what I would do. They Don't Have a Clue, just because I can't be selfish.
I just like your vulnerability of being so real to yourself that you don't know that people can read that from you, and it's a very wonderful thing you have. So please just keep having those people you have around, because I can tell for me in life, I believe that people you keep around reflect a lot in you, and I can tell the kind of people you have around make you to be so real that it just shows in how you choose your words. The next question is going to be, your song When the World Ends is such a unique title. If the world really did end tomorrow, what is that one thing you did absolutely have to do first?
Like if the world was ending tomorrow, what would I do right now?
Yes, what's the first thing you're going to do?
I would do two things. Can I say two things?
Yeah, sure.
One, I would release every single song on my hard drive.
Whoa.
I will release everything. Then I'm gonna take a bike. I actually got a bike. I'm gonna get it next week. It's not arrived yet. And then I'm gonna start the engine and drive all the way. There's this lake somewhere in Ibadan. And I'm going to sit down by the lake with tea and just wait for the boat to end.
Wow. What is the thing about the nature itself that it goes in everything you say? How have you been able to being in Nigeria to the level where you're so much connected to it that it just shows in you? What is that inspiration about it for you that you like people to just know? For people that really don't understand nature, how that reflects in your music, your sound, your voice, what you're giving us, how have you been able to come to that today, to the level where we can see the effect in you? What really inspired you? Having a plan, coming from a preacher's home, being inspired by Ed Sheeran, the Avengers, you've opened for the Caveman. How do you your energy just, how do you been able to do that? Would you like to share that with us?
Yeah. So it's going to be a short answer because the truth is I am not going out of my way to be anybody else. This is just who I am, right? And I am sticking with it. I'm leaning into it. I'm being present in it. There is no reason for me to go and try to be a different person or another type of human being. I am the kind of person that wants to chill, wants to get a house eventually on a hill, and wants to like, for my own, if I want to get away, I want to be by the ocean. Sometimes we live on Earth, yeah, and Earth is water and trees, and then we've added all of these cool things with the buildings and all. But like when it comes down to it, I feel the need to be grounded. I feel the need to feel real, and I don't feel as real anywhere else as much as I feel in nature. Right. So anytime, if anyone asks me, where would you rather be? It's like, yeah, that's just what I'm going to say. It's a natural state,
Thank you very much for that. My last question I will ask you for today is, being on City Among Blacks, being privileged for us to have you. I really do appreciate the fact that you did love to share some information with our fans. And what is that one thing you would like to give everybody that might be listening or watching you right now?
So, I had some shows last in September, right? I played 3 cities, and I'm gonna have something different this year. They're going to be shows. I'm going to play live, but they're going to be more like, I want to take my EP, the EP. I'm actually releasing an EP in December, and I'm going to take that.
Would you share the title with us, or you don't want to share the title yet? Is the title not ready yet to share?
Title, because I have already. It was the name of the tour. Time is a holy place.
Time is a holy place. Guys, when it come out, please make sure you stream it. Time is a holy. That's a big word. That's a big. Jesus Christ. That's a big one.
So that's what it's going to be. I'm going to take the release party to at least 3 states. And we're going to talk about the project. It's going to be visuals, and it's going to be music, and it's going to be drinks and little small nibbles, chops. Yeah, I'm just going to go out and try and spend like an intimate, nice time this December. I don't want to do big shows on my own. I just want to have a calm December because I'm going to be having Christmas with my family, which I've not done in a very long time. Because I've been almost outside the country every Christmas. So for the past 4 years or 5 years. So this year I have my apartment, this one I'm in right now, and I'm going to get a Christmas tree, and I'm going to decorate. And my birthday is Christmas, by the way. So
I felt like I don't want to ask you because the last interview you did, you guys were like, the world always want to celebrate my day. I don't really want to, so I don't want to kind of put it out there for you again and put you in the spot.
I'm saying it now. My birthday is Christmas, so I'm going to be with family. I'm also not going to overwork myself. I'm going to be in my apartment, no shows, but there will be those small parties. They're like soirees. They're going to be like little evening dinner parties, and I'm going to share the EP and really talk about it. And I think it's going to be a nice time. I'll announce it soon. It's going to be in December, and I look forward to it.
We'll make sure we keep up with you. I said we'll make sure we keep up with you to make sure when it comes out, we can be part of people that can promote it and put it out there for you too.
I would be more than pleased and honored to share it with you when it's out. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say. And I want to say most importantly is that thank you for having me on this. You know, it's like I said, every little thing that validates me as an artist is precious to me, because the fact that you guys reached out and went, hi, we like your work and we'd like to talk to you, it's just like, you would not be speaking with me if you didn't think that the music was something. So it warms my heart, you know, and give me a platform to talk about the things I love: music, nature, life, wine. I love wine, and I love tea, and I love plants, and I love good people. So you guys seem like great people. So
thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. I want to do something that in my mind tell I should do. I should ask you. There are moments when you're alone. There are moments when you go through things. There are moments where the world doesn't know, but there's some voice that keeps you going. Would you like to share that kind of voice to anybody that might be watching this episode, that might be going through something in terms of, you know, maybe their craft of music, or maybe anything they feel out there that's been hard for them? Is there anything you like to share to encourage them? That whoever that's watching to this moment will just be like, wow, I'm glad I listened to this moment. What is that one word you want to share?
What I'm going to say is, we all are designed to be missed. And I'm going to break that down to say, we don't need any permission to be here, to be alive. Like, we are here, and our existence means something to someone. No matter how crazy it sounds or how much we feel isolated, like our life's exhausting and stuff, but we're bringing joy to somebody somewhere just by existing. And that's all the permission we need, you know, is just wake up every day and just know that your life is a blessing to somebody. No matter how mundane you feel, or like you're like, oh, I'm probably just like this random small person, but it doesn't really matter. It's like we are everything to someone somewhere, and we have to put that back in my mind. And I think everyone should, and just know that we are here to be, and by being, we just shine a little light, you know. If something went,
yeah, I'm listening to you. I want you to finish it. I want you to finish what you're saying.
No, I said right now the world is a certain level of brightness, and if something were to happen to either one of us, it gets a little bit darker. And so we just know that we are contributing to the light in life, and the joy in life, and that's all the reason one needs to know that they mean something, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Tega Ethan. I think you've captivated me with a lot of words that I'm so soaked into it that even after this episode, I'm had to replay some things, and I'm glad you give us the opportunity. Keep doing the wonderful work of art, because what you're doing is art, and you know, putting your sound, joining the wonderful people in the world to create something that will help us to guide us along this world is wonderful. We're proud to have you as a Nigerian, and being among the people that will help your craft, because you're a legend on, when we use the word legend, to me, you're a living legend in terms of something unique Nigerian have not noticed, but I think with time they will have to, because you're really giving us something the world does not put too much attention into as a Nigerian, and your style. So thank you very much. We do appreciate you. Oh yes. Thank you very much. And I'll keep up with you on my own page. When I'm coming to Nigeria, I would love to see you in person, because you have this personality that I want to learn from. It is something where I would love to really sit down with you in person and get to know you, because you have this way where I'm asking you questions, but I'm lost in everything you're saying, because you have a unique way of looking at life. And it's something we don't get to see a lot of the music industry. And so thank you very much for coming, and thank you for giving us your time. And keep doing your thing. And we're hoping we can't just wait for the album to come out. And definitely I can promise you on that. I'll reach out to you personally myself too. Thank you very much. We do appreciate you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Stop pulling.